morning, everyone. This is Gail. I am here to do a quick tutorial today on my leather covers, my textured leather. I hope you can see this. This is my design team project for January for Tsunami Rose. I'll be back with a video on that here soon. But I wanted to show you how I do this textured leather. So we're going to get right to it here. And I'm just going to demonstrate on a 9x12 envelope, since that's what we all use often for our covers. So what I'm going to use here is I have some sacks from the craft store. It's just craft paper, and so that's what I use. You can use, let's see, I've got some packing paper here that would be, you could use something like that. Gosh, I've also got somewhere in here, I've got some wrapping paper that's craft like. I like this because it's thin. So we're going to start off, and I just prepare the bag. I go ahead and cut off the bottom, and then I find the seam wherever it is and cut up the seam too, because I don't want that double thickness. So that's how I prepare the cover, and then or the sack I mean, and then I just cut the paper to have an overhang on each side of the envelope, like so. Okay, so once that's done, then I start the process of getting the paper ready. So I'm sorry if this hurts your ears, but I just crumple up the paper, and then I smooth it out a bit to see what I've got. And then if there's spots like right here, it's not very crunchy, I'll just go back and give it a little more, like so, just till it's nice and textured. And then I simply Mod Podge it onto the front side of the envelope. So if you haven't seen this trick, I love this trick, the wax paper on the Mod Podge, so it never sticks. It's always easy to get off. It's awesome. So then what I do is I do a section at a time. So I just slap it on there, because the more texture the better, right? And then there's a shiny side and a dull side. I prefer the dull side. So then I just go ahead and kind of center it there, press it down. And as you can see, I do nothing carefully, because the more texture, the better. So then I will do another strip here, like this. And again, just slapping it on, making sure it's covered, but no worries about being perfect at all. And so then, as I'm going along, you can actually kind of move the paper as you're scrunching it to give it some of those nice texture veins and such. So I do that all the way around and get it all on. I have one here. I tried to be prepared so this would be quick. And so this one is Mod Podged onto the paper. And then what I do is on the corners, make sure that I'm in frame for this part, is I cut up to the corner and then kind of angle to the side and angle to the side, like that, so that when we push this up, we're going to have a nice, neat corner right here. You see that? So cut up to the corner, angle and angle, and then we'll have a nice corner that folds and doesn't bunch. Okay, So I've done that on this one, and I've started gluing it. So actually, have cut this at the angle, and here's one where I've cut to the corner, angled and angled. And then I really just slop the Mod Podge on the flap and get it pressed down. So then, and don't worry about wrinkles. Again, it's all about the texture here. So then we've got it on the front glued and on the inside cover glued. So that's the preparation stages, I guess, if you will. And so then what I do, I've got one here that is, it's all Mod Podged on and everything's stuck around. Then I generally Mod Podge over the top. It helps not use so much of the medium that I use to stain it. On this journal, I did not Mod Podge over the top. I just went ahead and gave it makes it rougher kind of. However, that said, I do really prefer to have the Mod Podge over the top, because what I use to color, to make it look that leather color, is, I hope you can see this, it's Folk Art brand and it's antiquing medium. This particular one is, the color is apple butter brown, and you can see this is an older one that I had that's nutmeg. And sometimes I do like to mix the colors a little bit. So then what I do is I just use my handy little Weight Watchers tray. I put some of the antiquing medium in there, and then I grab our handy baby wipes and I just dip in and rub on. So the great thing about the Mod Podge is it gives it a slicker surface, and so like I could remove some from that area. See how that just comes off? So you can really control how dark or light you go with this. So as you can see, I'm not using a ton of the medium. You use at least 4, 5, 6 times as much if you don't Mod Podge over the top of the bag first. So I really prefer it to do it this way. So see, just as easy as that, and you can leave it like that if you want to, and you can also embellish it some if you like. So let me show you a couple of things that I've done to some covers that I've already prepared here. So really a quick, easy way to make a cool leather cover. So a couple of examples here. This one, what I did is I did just the exact steps that I showed you, and I antiqued it, and then I sprayed it with some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. This particular one is craft color, and I hope you can see the shimmer there. So that was a way that I embellished that one. Then I decided to went ahead and colored, antique mediumed my my cover, but this time I did it without Mod Podging the top. I went ahead and antique medium, and then I used some of this kind of Mod Podge, the shimmer Mod Podge. I used that over the top of the antiquing medium, and it gave it a super cool silvery, fun texture to it. So I think this one would be so fun for, like, I don't know, a Harry Potter journal or something. Little shout out to my granddaughter Sophie, who loves Harry Potter. So so that was something I experimented with. Then I decided to try to go over, I had antiqued it and Mod Podged it, and then I went over it just brushing with my Versamark ink pad, and I did some gold embossing. So you can see the texture, just, there's all sorts of fun stuff. Won't that make a fun journal cover? And then I wanted to tell you too, you don't have to use craft paper. You can use tissue paper. I used this fun newsprint tissue paper and did the exact same thing. I just crumpled up the tissue paper and then Mod Podged it on the craft envelope. Then I Mod Podged over the top, and then I antique mediumed it. So that one is just a little bit different in that, and it feels different. The weight is different. If you use tissue paper, it's a lighter cover. I mean, these covers they're substantial. I mean, they feel heavy, leathery. They're awesome. So then the next thing to do with your cover is just to take one of your beautiful pieces of decorative paper and just Mod Podge that on the inside of your cover like that. Little shout out to Tsunami Rose, one of her beautiful papers. But then there you go, you're all ready. You can put your corner tabs on, you can embellish the front. Sometimes I do leave open this pocket, and if that's the case, I just would have glued this down and cut around it like this, so that when it came down, the pocket was or the flap was to the pocket was covered. But yeah, so I hope that you enjoy that technique. I just sort of randomly several years ago found this antiquing medium, and at the time I was refinishing furniture, and I thought, well, this translates well to what I'm doing with paper. So it's as easy as that. Crumple it up, Mod Podge it on, and then use your creativity to come up with different ways to embellish. Also, Inca Gold is great on these, and I know some of the gals, we don't have it here, but it's called Rub and Buff or something. That would work great on this. Just depends on the look that you're going for. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions at all, because I totally could have left something out. So if you have any questions at all, just leave it in the comments below and I will be sure to answer you. And so Happy New Year, everyone. I haven't done a video in a while because it's been the holidays, but I'm just excited to be back and creating and sharing it all with you. So thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.